Hey. Yeah. Oh. 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 Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Oh. 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 Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Oh. Oh.
What's up, YouTube? Today we just got a few things to discuss for this week. First thing I want to discuss with you about is I saw this here recently, fucking Taylor Swift throwing a big fit about her political views at the VMA Awards or whatever. It was just freaking retarded. You know, celebrities, they have the right, just like everybody else, to be able to voice their own opinions. However, they shouldn't be doing it at award shows or something like that. That shit needs to stop. They can do it on their own time. But yeah, their political views need to be left out of the media. And she's a hack singer anyway. Nobody really likes her except for the teenage crowd. Anyways, she tried to go against Trump, and it just didn't work out well for her at all. Which is not surprising. She's the female Justin Bieber is what she is. An idiot. The next thing I want to talk to you about is it seems to be a big deal on YouTube right now. There's so many videos by people talking about the whole Spiderman leaving the MCU and Sony taking them back, and it's just I'm happy. You know, freaking, you know, Stan Lee's daughter came out and totally tore Disney a new asshole because they are assholes. You know, nobody reached out to her. You know, they treated her dad like shit, which they did. And then they still want to continue to spit on him after he's gone, after he's died. So I'm glad Sony took Spider-Man from Disney and the MCU. You know, fuck Marvel. Marvel's done nothing but ruin our fucking, you know, these comic book iconic comic book stories and characters. So Disney can go fuck themselves. The next thing I want to talk about is the same thing. It's another Disney thing. Is you know, everybody's talking about, you know, Star Wars again because it's fixed to come out with the Rise of Skywalker, the third installment to the shit trilogy, Abrams style of Star Wars. And it sucks. And this one's going to be just as bad. Everybody knows it. They literally, you know, a lot of people are actually calling it what it is. Rey in the new Star Wars trilogy is a Mary Sue character. And what a Mary Sue character is someone who has no complications in their life, and you know, any obstacle that's thrown at them, they're able to overcome with ease. And that's what Rey is in the Star Wars universe. She's a Mary Sue character. She has no flaws, no family drama that's she's weighing out on, no mental problems or anything like that. Nothing bothers her. And then, she's able to overcome obstacles. She's Miss Perfect. She can just, no matter what's thrown at her, she easily overcomes. She's had no training as a Jedi, but yet she's able to fucking, beat those that have fucking Jedi skills, or able to, who are actually able to use the Force. So yeah, the new Star Wars is gonna suck. Everybody knows it. I did see the trailer where it showed her as a dark or a Sith Lord or whatever, and it's been shown that that's just a vision. They're not about to let her go bad. She's a feminist, so no, that's not going to happen. The other Star Wars thing I want to talk about is I did see the trailer for also the Mandolorian that also just came out this past week. I'll check it out, this series. However, it literally is, Boba Fett. They've just put a different character in there and called him the Mandalorian, is what they've done. But it's literally Boba Fett. They just don't want to, for some reason, they don't want to go and tell the story of Boba Fett. They want to do their own thing. But it's basically the same character. I'll check it out, but at the same time, I'm very skeptical just because, it's Disney. So we'll see. Let's move on to your video reaction. I'm watching a cringe compilation, like feminist cringe video. SJW cringe. Let's keep it real. Let's get with it.
Though that my colleagues on the left, their candidate, had Omar Mateen's father sitting behind him, who is pro-Taliban, who gave cover to Al-Qaeda, and who was anti-gay, who has said that gays deserve to be punished. This is who Hillary Clinton had 3 rows behind her, and Sadiq Mateen says he was invited, but it is unfathomable that she had a pro-Taliban person, anti-gay father sitting behind her.
First of all, the campaign, and Secretary Clinton have fully disavowed this individual.
And we trust her completely.
Well, we sure as hell don't trust Donald Trump. So let's set that issue aside for a second. They've disavowed. And if you're trying to apply there's some kind of collusion or something between Hillary Clinton and this man whose son massacred LGBT people, that is beyond offensive. So I don't know what you're implying.
What?
These feminists and SJWs, they just
Donald Trump
totally
is going
ignore all the facts
with
straight
Mark
in their
Rubio
face,
in Florida,
right in their face.
not far from the Pulse nightclub, where
They don't
49
wanna see it.
LGBT people were
They don't wanna believe
massacred
it,
to an
even though it's
anti-gay
the truth.
organization event. So do not try to equate
Boy,
the
she's
mistake that was
triggered.
made by her campaign staff, and I agree with Tara, whoever was in
she's
charge
an
of crowd
ugly
last
woman,
night
too.
should lose their
May I
job.
ask you a
And
question?
wait a minute. No, you can't ask me a question.
Because you can't answer the question.
Oh, you can't
What
ask me a
attracted-
question, honey. I can't answer, so don't
great,
even
answer
try.
this one. What attracted the father of the Orlando terrorist to your candidate?
He's a mentally ill individual
Oh,
who
that's
ran
what
for
attracted him.
president.
I get it.
Pardon me?
What attracted him to your candidate? And your answer was he's mentally ill.
His banter that... Stop smiling and smirking like it's a funny thing.
No, his banter that... Stop smiling and smirking like it's a funny thing.
The
It
great
is, 'cause
philosopher,
you're an idiot.
LeBron James,
Oh, this
spoken.
is the conservative twins.
Yeah.
I
You
check
talking
them
about
out all the
philosophy. He's a
time. They're
basketball
funny.
player. I'm being facetious. This is what he said. In the NFL, they got a bunch of old white men owning teams, and they got that slave mentality.
That sounds kind of racist to me, old white man.
Hey, ain't it a bunch of old white men own the NBA teams? But anyway, I digress. And it's like, this is my team. You do what the fuck I tell you to do, or we get rid of y'all.
Hey, man, ain't no slave mentality. That's a CEO mentality.
Yeah, that's a boss mentality. I got an employee. He stopped doing what I tell him to do, I'ma fire his ass.
Right.
Hey, the NFL's not the only league that got old white men owning teams. How about in basketball? Who's your owner? It's an old white man, ain't it? It's a whole bunch of old white people. Old white people, man. Hey, you know who the real slaves are? Yeah, the people that make your shoes.
Yeah, they paying them Asian niggas 10 cents a shoe.
Those are the real slaves.
Yeah.
Won't you back your words up, LeBron? Yeah. You talk a whole lot of shit. Won't you back it up? Why don't you start taking a knee?
Take a knee, nigga.
Yeah, do it.
I dare you.
I double dare you.
Take a knee, nigga.
I triple dog dare
Hey,
you.
who's that nigga with them narrow ass shoulders?
Tim Durant. Tell him to take a knee.
Tell him to take a knee. Matter of fact, on Christmas Day when y'all play each other,
Take a knee.
all y'all take a knee.
And start doing the rest of the year.
I dare you.
I dare you.
I
Yeah, go
dare
do
you.
it.
See what happens. I dare you, nigga.
I do it. I'm gonna be watching.
I dare you, nigga. I dare you.
I'm gonna have my popcorn ready.
Oh, this shit gonna get good. Take a knee, nigga.
Do it.
I dare you.
I dare you. Don't do it.
Do it.
Do it. I'm gonna be watching.
I dare you, nigga. Take a knee.
It's gonna get good.
Take a knee, man.
Yeah, do it. Stop talking all this shit and do something.
Do it. I dare you.
I dare you.
I dare you, nigga.
Do it.
Do it.
You ain't gonna do it.
Take a knee.
Cause you're full of shit.
Take a knee, nigga.
I'm gonna be watching.
Take a knee. I dare you.
Tired of the C-man.
So there are a couple of things here. You hear often people who exhibit racist behavior saying things like, I have black friends. And that does not negate institutional or systemic racism. I don't know if Jeff Sessions is racist or not, but I do know that he acknowledged, perhaps saying, that the NAACP was communist or un-American, an organization that has worked to protect not only the rights of black people in this country, but all people since 1909. I don't know if Jeff Sessions is racist or not, but I know that a deputy U.S. attorney who worked under him said that he called him repeatedly boy and told him to watch how he talked to white folks. I don't know if he's a bigot, but I know that he's worked vehemently against immigrants in this country, that he supports building a wall.
I don't think she knows much about human decency.
Oh,
she doesn't
really?
know Jeff Sessions. She's never met Jeff Sessions. She's never spent 30 seconds with Jeff Sessions. I've spent 20 years of my life around Jeff Sessions. I know Jeff Sessions well. And so to sit around here and say a person you've never met, a person you don't know, a person you never talked to is a racist is inappropriate.
I'm really interested in your perspective because I think you're a fascinating person.
Thank you.
There was another tweet that said the Democratic Party is comprised of racist white liberals.
That is correct.
Am I a racist white liberal?
Well, let's go back. And let's say, I will say this, that many people in the party are not aware of their own racism. Let's go back to an early part of this conversation where you said to me, are you concerned about the color in the White House? Why would you ask me that question?
Does it bother you that there's no prominent African Americans in the White House itself?
That's Canada. So
to you having, like, you don't look at, you know, it is an administration that has more white men than past administrations have had.
Yeah,
but that doesn't bother you. I don't think that diversity is important.
Not at all.
I think it's pretty apparent that Mr. Luke believes that black people are stupid and will not pursue the full clip in its entirety.
The witness will suspend for a moment. Witness may not refer to a member of the committee as stupid.
I didn't refer to him as stupid. That's not what I said. You didn't listen to what I said. May I continue?
Please. Witness may continue.
Sure, even though I was called despicable. As I said, he is assuming that black people will not go pursue the full 2-hour clip. And he purposefully he cut off, and you didn't hear the question that was asked of me. He's trying to present as if I was launching a defense of Hitler in Germany, when in fact, the question that was asked of me was pertaining to whether or not I believed that Hitler was whether I believed in nationalism, and that nationalism was bad. And what I responded to was that I do not believe that we should be characterizing Hitler as a nationalist. He was a homicidal, psychopathic maniac that killed his own people. A nationalist would not kill their own people. That is exactly what I was referring to in the clip, and he purposely wanted to give you a cut-up similar to what they do to Donald Trump to create a different narrative. That was unbelievably dishonest, and he did not allow me to respond to it, which is worrisome and should tell you a lot about where people are today in terms of trying to drum up narratives. By the way, I would like to also add that I work for Prager University, which
The
is run by
media
an
is
Orthodox
not
Jew.
your
When
friend.
a single Democrat showed up to the embassy opening in Jerusalem, I sat on a plane for 18 hours to make sure that I was there. I'm deeply offended by the insinuation of revealing that clip without the question that was asked of me.
Just another quick one about Angela's question on equality just before. We've got quite a large pay dispute happening with our Australian women's soccer team at the moment. Is it frustrating for you as someone who's so prominent in your sport? And we heard you say on the Ellen show the other day you are the richest fighter in UFC, that sort of thing is still going on?
I think that how much you get paid should have something to do with how much money you bring in. I'm the highest paid fighter, not because Dina and Lorenzo wanted to do something nice for the ladies. They do it because I bring in the highest numbers. They do it because I make them the most money. And I think that the money that they make should be proportionate to the money that they bring in.
That looks pretty good. It's a little rare, medium rare.
Pay gap is
That's
because
a nice dead animal, dead cow hanging on your fork.
they don't get paid equally. It's fucking retarded. It's against the law.
If you go hunting, that's a totally different story, right?
The
blood's
reason
on your
there's a
hands.
pay gap is
right now,
because
you're
of
kind of
women
just enjoying the
who make
benefit and the
certain
blood's on
choices.
someone else's hands.
They
and that's not
choose
very
the
fair.
jobs that are not
What if
high-paying
they
jobs.
want to hunt meat, or what if
Or
they want to
part-time
raise
jobs.
cattle?
Oh, totally. But the idea of killing and taking a life, that we should really deeply consider what that means for us as human beings. You know, people have said you should judge a society by how it treats their animals. And we, you know, it'd be great if we had universal health care for our animals.
Universal health care for animals, that could be expensive.
We can afford it.
When an Antifa member stabbed a police horse in the neck with a knife, was the horse a racist Trump supporter?
Yes.
Oh my God. That's it. That's the horse a racist Trump supporter. Yeah, had to kill it. Because we're Antifa. We're totally against fascism, yet that's exactly what we are. It's fascists. Fucking Antifa is fucking retarded. There's some idiot motherfuckers, man. They're literally doing what they claim that they're fighting against. They'll shut you down. That's fascism. Fucking idiots. Anyways, that's that part. Now we'll move on to our B movies. Alright, you movie holics, let's get to it. Our genre this week was action, back to action. We went through the four main genres and we're right back to action. So this week I chose 3 different style movies. They're all basically done in 1980s. The first one is called American Ninja. It was done in 1985 and grossed about $10 million at the box office. It starred Michael Dudikoff and Steve James. This movie spawned off a number of sequels. I'll eventually get to the sequels, but watching this first one, I nearly fell asleep about halfway through the movie. It was just, the story was so boring. I was having a hard time trying to stay awake and watch it. Basically, it's about this young woman. She is this base commander's daughter or whatever, and she almost gets kidnapped at the very beginning of the movie by a bunch of terrorists that are using ninjas. some type of, I'm not sure what they are, if they're drug lords or something, but they hire a bunch of ninjas for bodyguards who happen to have a training facility on the island that they're on. Anyways, for whatever reason, I don't know, but anyways, this drug lord or whatever, Kingpin, he hires these ninjas, and she nearly gets kidnapped by him at the beginning of the movie. But Michael Dudikoff's character is, he just happens to have amnesia or whatever, and he's a new recruit at this military base, and he just happens to go on the convoy that she almost gets kidnapped from. And he beats the crap out of a lot of the ninja guys and takes off with her, running through the jungle. They try to capture him, but can't find him. The other army guys, a bunch of them get killed by the ninjas, except for the two commanding officers. They let them go. So they blame it all on him. That's the reason why they all got killed. The base commander doesn't like him. Even though he saved his daughter, he doesn't like him. He supposedly doesn't. Michael's character supposedly doesn't know anything about his past. He can't remember. Like I said, he has amnesia. Eventually figures out he was trained by this, this Japanese soldier on the island that thought that World War II wasn't over. But of course, the soldier eventually, once the island becomes inhabited, he finds out, he's found, but he doesn't speak to anyone. He pretty much keeps quiet, keeps to himself, but he understands that the war is over. You have these flashbacks of him discovering Michael's character when he was a baby. So he starts raising him as his own, and he teaches him the way of ninja, or ninjutsu. But there was this, when he's a teenager, there's this big explosion, and Michael's found on the island, and which the explosion knocked him out, and he's taken and then put in an adoptive agency. At some point in time, the terrorist group attacked this base or whatever, and kill a bunch of soldiers, and then the soldiers go to retaliate. They go to raid this drug lord or Kingpin's home or whatever. Michael finds his old teacher, remembers him, and his teacher helps him fight off the terrorists, but they kill the teacher, and then Michael kills the leader of the ninja group, and that's pretty much the end of the movie. They stop the drug lord and the terrorists, ninja terrorists. Moving on. That's why I said this. I just could not get into the story. It was a terrible, terrible story. Absolutely terrible. So, I'm going to have to wait before I go trying to watch any of the sequels, because I'm afraid they're going to be just as bad. The acting wasn't horrible, but it wasn't really that great either, just to let you know. So, moving on. The next B-rated movie is called The Exterminator. Now, I've seen this cover for years, and but I've never known anyone who's ever watched it and has talked about it. Apparently, it's become a cult classic. Now, it did spawn a sequel, but it didn't spawn a trilogy, just a sequel. It was done in 1980. It made about $6 million at the box office. It starred Robert Gentry. Steve James is in this as his best friend. And then Christopher George. Now, Christopher George plays the cop who's trying to hunt down the vigilante. This is basically a vigilante movie, kind of like Death Wish. I heard rumors that this was considered way too violent. There was just too much violence in the movie at the time. That's why it got a solid R. When I was watching the movie, I only saw one scene that actually was pretty gruesome and what I would consider pretty gory and violent. And that was at the very beginning. They're like in Vietnam War, and they get captured. Steve and Robert. They're best friends. Anyway, this guy goes, Oriental dude, this Vietnamese dude, he's soldier or whatever, lieutenant, whatever he is. He's trying to interrogate him. Well, one of their buddies, he walks over and slices his neck and nearly decapitates him. It's barely hanging on. That's literally the worst scene in the whole movie. The rest of it's fine. It's just a bunch of shooting crap. Anyways, like I said, they're captured at the beginning of the movie, and then they're saved. They now live, I guess it's New York or San Francisco or something. I don't know. I'm guessing New York. Anyways, this gang shows up to steal a bunch of stuff at their workplace. They end up stopping them, and Steve James, he beats the holy crud out of a few of them and pisses them off. So they want revenge. So they do. They find him walking by himself, and they pretty much beat the holy piss out of him and then break his neck. They don't kill him. They just paralyze him. So he's in this bed all bandaged up for whatever. I don't know. He might have gotten beat up. I don't think he got beat up that bad. Breaking his neck, though, I don't know. He's laying in bed with bandages, and Robert, he's his best friend. He keeps telling him he's going to take care of it. So he starts off and off the gang members. Once he does that, he escalates to again, it's like mafia style, some drug lord or whatever. He ups his game to them and starts taking them out. This cop, he's supposed to hunt him down and stop him. Well, the city gets involved with some rogue CIA mercenaries that are no longer CIA. This cop decides to meet Robert, and the CIA basically kills him, and they think they kill Robert, but Robert narrowly falls in the river and he narrowly escapes, and is still alive. And that's the end of the movie. There was a sequel. It's called The Exterminator 2. It was done in 1984, and it made about $4 million. So it did just a little bit less than the previous one. Now, I actually thought this one was actually better than the first one, to be honest. It starred, of course, Robert Ginty. He's back as the Exterminator. And then it has Mario Van Peebles in it, which I didn't know. I was kind of surprised. And it has Deborah Geffner as his girlfriend, the dancer. And then Frankie Folsom, which is Robert's, like, best friend in this one. He plays the black guy that's the garbage truck. Or garbage man or whatever. Basically, Robert comes into town. He starts taking out some gang leaders, or like street gang punks, whatever. He's taking them out. Frankie sees him and says, "Hey, man, if you're looking for work, you can hang out with me." You know, so he ends up becoming a garbage man. Sort of. It never sees him work with him, but anyway, supposedly he's like going to be a garbage man now. He's been seeing this dancer. She's kind of like an erotic dancer, sort of, but she kind of wants to get into ballet. I don't know. He meets her at a club. They get involved. His buddy, the black garbage man, he at some point in time in the movie, he sees Mario Van Peebles, Mario Van Peebles is the leader of the gang, street gang, and he sees them causing trouble, so he tries to run him down with his garbage truck or whatever, blah blah blah. They locate, they find the garbage truck, which he loaned to Robert and his girlfriend, and they see it outside of Robert's girlfriend's apartment. So they think that he's the guy who was driving the garbage truck. They try to run him down. Now, Mario Van Peebles, his character is called X, and he's been killing a bunch of people, left and right. He's wanting to take over the streets and the drug trade, so he's been doing some business with some mafia type dudes. Anyways, they beat the holy piss out of Robert's girlfriend and basically make it to where she can't dance anymore. And then later on, they kill his girlfriend, the street gang. So he decides to get revenge. The black guy joins them. They end up killing the black guy. And then Robert just goes in there and pretty much wipes out the whole gang. They get in this big fight scene at the end with the drug lords and shit, and they get all fucked up, as well as the gang members. And then it's just him and Mario, and then Mario does a dumbass idea of opening this bag that's supposed to have all these drugs in there, and it blows him to shreds. And that's, you see Robert walk away. His character walks away and drops the fire extinguisher or whatever, a flamethrower, and that's the end of the movie. Like I said, I like the second one better than I do the first one, though the first one was really good too. I was kind of surprised. They're actually really good movies. So if you never heard of it or didn't know about it, check out The Exterminator and The Exterminator 2. I promise you won't be disappointed. They're actually really good flicks. American Ninja, yeah, I wasn't really too keen on it. Eventually I'll get around to the sequels of that, just not right off the bat. Anyway, if you have any suggestions of some older type of movie I've never seen, please leave your suggestions down in the comments below, and let me know what you think of this video. I told you you'd be told the truth, and you've just been told.